What's up, YouTube? Welcome to episode 3 of Snap, Crackle, Pod. I'm Ryan Wood, alongside, as always, Trevor. What's up, Trev? Guns a-blazing.
Guns a-blazing. Coming out guns a-blazing. Yes, sir.
I like it. So, how was your week? We're a little bit late this week, and I think listeners might be interested to know it's because you were on a trip.
In my favorite rocket ship. Yes, sir. No, I was in Colorado for the week with my family on my second vacation. I'm very blessed with my job. They do give a lot of PTO, so I went on a beach vacation with Ryan actually earlier this year, or this summer, I should say. And just went to Colorado. It was the first time I've ever been there before, and I think it's the only second time I've been out west like that. I've been to Arizona once, but it was a pretty quick trip, so I actually got to see the landscape there. It was completely different than what I was anticipating. I don't know. Have you ever been out to Colorado?
One time for work. It's interesting out there. Very flat. And, well, I mean, obviously there's mountains, but in Denver, where I was, it's just like the buildings don't get very high in Denver for whatever reason. It just felt like a different type of downtown that I was used to here in Pittsburgh. But also a lot of one-way streets, which was interesting.
Yeah, when we flew into the airport, I saw Denver and I was like, surely that can't be Denver. I just assumed Denver would be similar size to Pittsburgh, if not much bigger than Pittsburgh. But when I saw it, I was like, no, that can't be Denver. But it really was a lot smaller buildings, like you were saying, but
it's
pretty cool little town.
It's set up differently, but I think it's still pretty sizable. It's a cool place. I enjoyed the vibe of Colorado a lot when I was there.
For sure. We were out in Steamboat Springs, which is 3 hours away, so it was quite a drive, and we got to a max elevation at some point in the drive of 10,850 feet, and for reference, that is twice the height of where Denver, or twice the elevation of where Denver is. So
wow, that's pretty cool. The Mile High City. It's got nothing on where you were. That's neat.
Yeah, but we're not here to talk about my vacation. We're here to talk about Snap and what's poppin'.
That's true. What's poppin' for you this week? How was your week in Snap? Did you get to play at all when you were on your trip?
I got back-to-back talking points. Lucky me. Yeah, I got to play Snap a lot, and it helped that Grand Arena has entered the building. It's been a very interesting game mode, especially for me. I personally took the approach of using one champion and sticking with them the whole time. And of course, whenever I see a robot, I'm picking the robot. So I've been rocking Herbie the whole entire time and just learning that deck. And whenever I start to get bored of it, which hasn't happened yet, I'll just switch to something else. I think you recommended the Carnage deck. I'll probably try that out next. I had that played against me, and I got absolutely wrecked a few times by it. So it seems like a pretty solid deck. So I've been toying around with that, and I got my dad playing Snap.
Ooh.
And he really hasn't gotten into it a whole lot, but I made him. I was like, hey, you got to play Grand Arena. It's a great way. You don't even have to worry about making decks.
Yeah.
Just go in there, play the game mode, and just learn one deck really well, which is what I'm doing, taking my own advice there. And the other little tidbit, I did on the last episode say I wanted to reach 2,000 collection level. I finally got there. I'm just under 2,100 finally, and I'm Infinity.
No way. Really?
That's a lie. I'm at 75, but I'm working my way there.
I mean, hey, like that was a bit of a surprise, but it wouldn't shock me because you're learning and picking it up fast like you do with most games. But that's cool. That's cool that we'll dive a little deeper into Grand Arena in a little bit. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on it, and glad that you're spreading the joy of Marvel Snap around. We need a little bit of that these days. My week, what's poppin'? I've been mostly playing Grand Arena too. It's just really captured me. I'm enjoying messing around with all the different champions and skills. And plus, now that I don't remember if I was at Infinite last time we talked, but I am in Infinite, so like it kind of takes all the pressure off me for ladder. I'm not going to go in there and just be a tryhard and try to get as high as I can. I really just kind of, once I get there, that's my big goal for the month, and then I can play fun decks, make fun videos for the channel, and it's always a bit of a relief whenever I actually do get there. So we're chilling at like top 17,000 Infinite. It's nowhere high, so that's basically been my week in Snap, but I'll dive a little deeper when we get to the Grand Arena topic.
I would never expect you to be a tryhard.
Uh, I tried 1 month, but it was a little too much, so we dialed it back. Well, let's get into our next topic. Which, first of all, before we talk about this coming week's card, did you run into any the thing first steps in the wild?
Not one single one,
Not even
buddy.
in Grand Arena.
Not even in Grand Arena.
Oh,
Didn't see
interesting.
it.
He's actually one of the champions, and he's pretty good. I will say I came in a little low on this card last week. I thought it would be more of a win more card. I still don't think it's like incredible. It's not like S tier, but it actually surprised me. It's more flexible than I thought. Being a 5 drop, you can play it on turn 6 and totally surprise your opponent and destroy a card. And it doesn't matter that it's only going to be a 5/8 after that. It's basically a Shang-Chi that they don't expect. So decent, but you haven't run into it, so
I have not, and expecting a man made out of rock to be flexible is quite interesting. That was a good perspective.
yes. Okay. Hey, I like it. Saw Fantastic Four, by the way, I should mention. Um, and I'm sorry you were in a different state, or we would have seen it together, I'm sure. But it was very good.
It's
Highly
okay.
recommend. Yeah.
It's I wanted to go see it, but it was the last day that we were going to be in Colorado. I was like, I can't waste it. Not that it'd be a waste, but I'm not going to go to the movies without my family because I floated the idea, but nobody took me up on it. So
I get it. Yeah. I'm the kind of person that would see a movie on vacation, but we're a rare breed, I think. So now that you're back, maybe you guys will get out to see it. It's really good. Anyway,
okay, I'll check it out soon.
let's move on to this coming week's card, which, continuing along our month-long theme of Fantastic Four, we have Invisible Woman, Fantastic Four First Steps. Activate. This turn, your end of turn abilities happen twice. It's a 3/5, which are good stats, and the ability is strong on its face. I think the question is, are there really enough end of turn cards in the game right now that it's going to make a big enough impact? A lot of the cards that are end of turn cards don't even work that well with it. You're basically looking at the new cards released this month that are obviously very good with it. And then a handful of cards like, I don't know, maybe Marvel Boy, Sunspot could be pretty interesting. You get a double activation. You could do a full float on turn 5 with Sunspot, and get 10 power to it, and then play Infinite the next turn in a deck like that. So there's some possibilities. What are your first thoughts on this card?
So first off, I have a question. So
Yeah.
this can only be used one time total, correct?
Yeah,
The
it's an
activate ability?
activate. Yeah, it's an activate, so you can only use it once. But so you're basically trying to find a turn where all of your various end of turn effects will work well together when you activate it.
Okay. Because again, in Grand Arena, I've been playing the
Herbie.
the Herbie deck. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I almost said it I almost said it with a silent H. But anyways, Marvel Boy is in that deck, and I could see it having some synergy with it.
Yeah.
But if it's only going to be used for one turn,
Mm-hmm.
how much practicality is it going to have?
Yeah.
It just depends on how you organize the deck. Again, like you said, there's not a ton of cards that have synergy with it, so that's always a difficult space. The only thing I will say is it being 5 power is a little bit enticing.
Yeah.
If this were a 3/3, I don't think I would touch it with a 30-foot pole, but a 3/5 is more interesting. I would say 3/6, I could see a lot of merit to this being used. But I like the take on it. If I had to give it a letter grade, I'm probably floating around a B. I mean, I wanted to say A initially, but as you have alluded to, there are not many cards that can be used with this card to absolutely optimize and take advantage. So I'm going to give it a B, and if I were going to, I'm sticking with B. I was thinking about B plus, but I'm still going to go with B just because it's a 3/5. If it was the 3/6, I think I'd go up to a B plus.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd put it at an A even if it was a 3/6. That's really premium stats. But and it's all upside on the ability. Of course, like you said, might not have all that many targets, But I think it's like one of those things that in the future, this card's only going to get better and better as more end of turn cards release. But for right now, I think that somebody's going to come out with a deck that like makes a lot of sense with this. The one that I'm looking at making for this coming week is a Doom 2099 deck, because that card, will pump out a Doom bot every turn that you play just one card. So getting it to activate twice in one turn is actually pretty massive. So that's my first thought. I think everybody will probably do that at first, and if this card is really good, that's going to be the card that breaks it, I think. But we'll see. We'll have to keep an eye on it. But I'm going to come in at a B with you, and we'll have to see how it lands. I don't know if it's going to see as much play as I think they might hope, but we'll see. It's just limited. It's limited.
So compared to the other cards that have been released, what do you think overall is the best card so far? Have we been through 3 of them now?
Well, the season pass card is the Mr. Fantastic first step. So he wasn't a weekly release, but I would count him in this season. And then Human Torch, The Thing, and Invisible Woman. So this will be the 4th member of the Fantastic Four. Then there's Herbie too. I forgot Herbie also came out.
Herbie.
Yeah. So let's actually. I will say I think that the best card is of that set is Mr. Fantastic. He's just used in every deck. It's a 2-drop. He just comes in and every turn he buffs a card in your hand by reducing its cost or adding power. Which, by the way, with Invisible Woman, that's also going to be a nice synergy to get an additional one of those at the end of your turn. One time. But anyway, let's since we're talking about Herbie, we're talking about some of these cards, let's shift to the Grand Arena, because this is probably the most beloved limited time game mode from the community at large that I have seen so far. High Voltage has its problems and detractors. Sanctum Showdown is fun, but some people just don't enjoy that style of gameplay, and Deadpool's Diner is very polarizing. But other than maybe some complaints about the economy in this, which are still out there, the complaints, I think the Grand Arena's gameplay has been beloved. What are your takes on it from a high level?
I absolutely love it so far. I've played every LTM at this point that you just mentioned. High Voltage I'm not crazy about. Like you said, there are a lot of problems. As far as Grand Arena goes, I haven't really seen any problems. I like that there's increased energy at the beginning, so we start off with 2 energy on the first turn.
Yeah.
That can be a little bit more fun, and obviously if you throw out more energy per turn, it's just going to be more fun because you get to play more cards, there's more synergies, there's just a lot more to be done, and there's a lot more combinations that exist in this gameplay, which I think is really fun. Having a grand champion and having an ability to go along with it, or a skill. Is it called a skill?
A skill, yeah.
Skill, right. That is still a completely new concept to me because I am not accustomed with skills. I don't use them whatsoever, so this is a really good way to get my toes dipped into the skill department, so to speak. And so far I'm really enjoying it. I see we got a nice little helpful assistance to the side of me. I've been using this quite a lot, and it's been really fun to play both a skill and the champion. But more so than anything, again, like I said, I just like using a deck and not really having to think about building it. It's just built for me, and there's a lot of synergy with the deck. There's some flaws with the Herbie. I did it again. The Herbie deck, not the Herbie deck. It's just so tempting. But I love this game mode. It's really fun. The only thing I would say is it's really hard to get glory, at least for me, because I'm not doing the premium or the pass, whatever you want to call it. And so it's really difficult for me to continue to work my way up so I can get things in the shop. But honestly, looking at the shop, it doesn't seem overly appealing to me. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm a newer player, but I just gravitate towards all of the variants. I've always gravitated towards variants because I love artwork, and I feel like the shop has some pretty good artwork, but there's nothing that's really grabbing my attention. So I always want to gravitate towards that the premium variant, the mystery premium variants. And I know that's a terrible way to spend my glory, but I can't help myself. I probably won't do that this time around, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I totally agree with a lot of, well, pretty much all of what you've said. I think that, as I said before, the gameplay people really love, but the biggest win for this game mode has to be the pre-built decks. I mean, a lot of new players are going to see cards that they've never gotten a chance to play with, and then they can play an entire deck. Like you said, they don't have to worry about building one. And that's such a great entry to the game. That's something that this game has needed for a while. I know that they're working on getting like some snap packs that are like specific to an archetype. I think there's actually move snap packs in the shop as of a couple days ago, which is kind of cool. They're at least themed, and it can help new players like figure out a lane to deck building. But deck building's a hard thing, especially when collections take a while to build in this game. So being able to just sit down, play a mode, have a deck built for you, and introduce you to concepts and cards that you aren't familiar with can be a real good gateway into, you know, oh, maybe I like this card. Maybe I'll pin it in the shop and build a deck of my own that's similar. Like, I think it's such a big win for them, and hopefully they capitalize. I mean, obviously their limited time game modes have been like one a month, sometimes two a month, but I wonder if this mode is good enough on its face to be more frequent than that. Maybe even find a way to rework it without the shop and have it be an option for a casual game mode.
So my question is this the first time that Grand Arena has come around?
Yeah, this is the very first iteration of Grand Arena.
Ooh.
Yeah, which makes it, you know, even more interesting which way they're going to go with it, because they have not committed to having any permanent modes in the game. If there's any that I think could be it, I think so far out of the ones that they've launched in the last year, Grand Arena is the biggest candidate, I think.
Well, I'm glad that I get to participate in the first iteration of it.
Yeah, definitely. The cool thing is, I mean, these 8 champions, you know, I think there's 8. You figure there's a lot of room to have more in the future, too. You could expand it, you could rotate it, like have, you know, a different set of 8 and then do a different theme for the different month. Like, there's a lot of potential with this mode. And I love that you can just kind of pick it up and play it and not have to worry about snapping. You don't have to worry about, you know, the crush of what deck is going to work best. Now, you can customize decks, and I've been doing that a lot, but, you know, it all depends on your comfortability with building and with your collection level, honestly.
And I have no I have no desire to create my own decks. I'm just enjoying using the pre-built decks and using the champions. Well, I should say champion. Soon, I think tomorrow is going to be the first day where I start to play around with some other champions, but I'm not messing with any decks.
Yeah, I really think, just given your experience with Destroy, that Carnage deck is basically what you're playing now, plus the skill that is an extra Carnage activation. So that one will probably hit you right in the sweet spot.
It's tempting because I see X-23s in it, and I believe Death is in it as well. So getting it played against me has been just wonderful because I get to see the full power of having all those cards in rotation. I think there was one game where I thought for sure I had a win, and he played Null, he played Death, and X-23 was played earlier, and they just kept coming back, and I lost by a lot. I think he got 60 on every single location because of Null, and I was sitting at about 25 for each, so I felt pretty stupid.
Hey, you know, it's a learning experience. I'm glad that you're enjoying the mode, though. I am as well. And, you know, one thing I should mention, most of these game modes in the past have been a week, sometimes even less. This game mode's going for 2 weeks, so even though it might feel like some of the shop is, you know, not accessible, we have a lot of time still to build up glory and to enjoy the mode and try all the different champions. So we'll see. So far, big home run.
Agreed.
All right, well, that's the Grand Arena. Let's move on to our top 5. And for this week, I thought it might be cool to kind of go along with the Fantastic Four theme and pick our top 5 4-drop cards in the game. Do you want to go first?
Well, you put me on the spot, so why not? I'm not going to go in order this week of which cards I do like the most, only because I don't use four cost cards that much now that I'm thinking about it. When I was making this list, I'm familiar with some, but I'm not crazy about any of them. So we're just gonna start with Shang-Chi, which I know a lot of people hate this card. I hate people hate this card being played against them. Obviously, I hate it being played against me. And as Ryan has said in a previous episode, it's a no fun card. Obviously, you destroy an enemy with 10 power or more, so it's good. You can kind of derail someone's plan, which is really nice. So while it's one of my least favorite cards to be played against me, it is one of my favorite cards to play because it helps me to control the environment. And it typically, when I play it at a location and I do destroy a card, I know that I have a very good chance of winning that location, and I only have to win one more location to get that 2 out of 3 and win the game overall. So that is why it's one of my favorite cards. If it was a 5/3, I probably wouldn't play this a whole lot, but since it's a 4/3, I feel like it's a very fair point in the game. And you can always, in turn 6, if you don't get that 6 cost card, you can pair this with a 2 or a 1 if you really have to, and get your opponent a little bit salty. So that's why it's on my list.
I love it. I mean, he's a necessary evil. He's got to be in the game, or giant decks would just run over everyone, and so I get it. I like me some Shang-Chi. I enjoy him in a good tech deck. My first card is going to be one of my favorite decks. The centerpiece of it, especially when it first released, was Miss Marvel. This card was a absolute powerhouse at the, when it first came into the game. They've nerfed it a couple times since then, but I like it because it was the centerpiece of a combo that I built that would put a ton of power on the side lanes by basically doubling and then doubling her ability with Onslaught Mystique. And it was really strong, and it wasn't the way that everybody played Miss Marvel, so I enjoyed it for that. Since then, I've actually outclassed the combo with Moonstone and Mr. Fantastic instead, so I don't even play Miss Marvel in the deck, but she holds a soft spot in my heart because it's what got me into YouTube content creation in the first place, was showing that deck off to people. So I think that's why she's one of my favorite 4-drops.
Oh man, it's full circle moment here. Now you're doing a podcast.
Now we're podcasting, baby.
Yeah. So, yeah, I actually don't have that card, to be honest. And I think I've only had it played against me once, maybe twice. So I don't know if you get it at lower collection levels. I don't know.
It wasn't. It released at Series 5, so I'm not sure where it's at right now. It might be a Series 4 card. I don't think they've moved it down to Series 3 yet.
Okay. Well, that would make sense why I don't see it very often. But getting into my next card, I'm going to go with Miles Morales. As I've said in previous podcast episode, I use a move deck quite often. I feel like this is a very powerful move deck card, only because if you were to obviously play it as a 4/6, meh, probably not that good of a card. But the fact that it can just reduce down to 1, and if you're using a move deck, more than likely you're moving every single turn if you're being efficient with it. And if that's the case, then this is a great card because it's a 1/6, and you really can't beat that, at least in my opinion. So I feel like it's an absolute necessary card. I got this one maybe when we went to Kennywood, whenever that was, 2-3 weeks ago, and I use it every single time in my move deck. So that's why it's in my deck. I don't know if you ever use it, but what are your thoughts on Miles Morales?
I don't play a ton of move, but I do enjoy playing Miles in a deck that just has a little bit of move, or a plan that is, a little out of the ordinary. And with that move, then I'll sometimes play him as like you said before, you can play a Shang-Chi on turn 6 alongside a 1 or 2. Well, putting down a 1/6 along that is usually enough to swing a game. So I like him in kind of a smaller deck like that, not all on move deck, but I do enjoy. I really enjoy the character, so for that reason, I've always enjoyed the card. I wish I played more of it, but as you can see, I have this awesome variant for him, so I do enjoy looking at him, and I wish I had more decks that I played him in, honestly.
Yeah, I do not have that variant.
Yeah, it's a fun one. Um, all right, so my next card, I'm gonna go with a another kind of bizarre one. Most of my cards are just tricky cards, and this one is Super Giant. It's a 4/7 as an honor reveal that basically makes all cards like under Invisible Woman. They don't reveal until the end of the game. This is a card that I enjoy playing because your opponent kind of sometimes doesn't know how to play around it. I used to play it in a deck with Eliath, so anything they played after the Supergiant turn would just get turned off by my Eliath at the end of the game. And also my own cards would get basically that Invisible Woman effect. So I would just put down a Shang-Chi the next turn where I think they were going to have power, and then at the end of the game it reveals after them, no matter what priority is. It's just a tricky card. It changes the priority. It messes with the opponent's preconceptions, and that's why it's on my list.
I know this is not going to surprise you. This is going to be a common theme. I do not have this card, nor have I ever seen it played against me. Surprise, surprise.
It's honestly not played very often, not even by me, but one day I believe Supergiant will be back.
All right, well, I'll wait for that day. Getting into my next card, I'm going to go with Galacta. I'm not sure if this is a card that's played very often. It's a card that I've really enjoyed using. I'll supplement it into a few of my decks. I don't know why I like this card so much, but it being a 4/6 is pretty nice. And then being able to add +2 power to the first card that gets revealed on my side is also a nice added bonus. I just feel like it's good for balancing my locations. I can play Galacta, let's say, the right lane, and then I can play a card in the left lane and it'll gain +2 power. So I feel like it's a really good balancing card, and I think that's why I like it because I typically like a good balance between at least two locations, but especially three. Um, I personally find a lot of a use for it, and I'm sure it's not used very often. But for me, I don't know, maybe being a lower collection level, I just find it appealing. So I don't know up your way. Is this used very often?
So what's funny about this card is up until um, the last OTA, I think this was the most played or potentially best card in the game. It used to reveal cards with +3 power. Um, and maybe it was, I don't remember, maybe that was a few weeks ago. All I remember is you asked me, should I get this card? And I said, that's one of the best cards in the game. And you got it, and then they immediately nerfed it to a +2. It makes a big difference because it used to, with Brood, you know, the +3 power would go to each of the Broodlings as well. And then just every turn you were activating it, so it, even if you weren't adding it to stuff like Brood, you were getting a 412, 415, which is just way above rate. So this card was kind of insane at the +3, and now it's still a good 4-drop, and I don't think you should feel bad about owning it. I think it's a really cool card.
All right. Well, way to make me feel good about myself.
I mean it in a good way. It's a good one.
No, I mean it in a good way because I thought it was a card that probably didn't get played much. So I
No,
actually feel better about it now.
no, Galacta's awesome. All right, my next card, I'm going to go with War Machine. I think I talked about this card with you before. It basically makes all your cards Jeffs. It's a little niche, whatever, but it's fun. I like playing lockdown decks whenever they're good. They're not good in the meta right now, but I like locking down lanes and then being able to play into them while my opponent can't because I'm evil like that. But that's why I like War Machine.
All right. And I like that variant. I like the black and white. If I all my cards could be black and white, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that was a goal of mine, but I didn't get them all there. I'm still working on it.
All right. So getting into my next card, this is an interesting one for me because I actually don't own this card, but I've been eyeing it up for a while. I think it's a really cool card. I'm not super familiar with the ability, but being able to return your discarded and destroyed cards to your hand with +3 power seems very enticing, especially if they're more lower cost cards, because obviously this is a 4 uh, cost card. So being able to replay your ones or your 2 cost cards with +3 power just seems really OP. I don't know. I think I saw this in the shop at one point, but I didn't bite the bullet on it. But the next time it comes around, I know I'm definitely gonna go for it. I just don't think I had enough tokens at the time. It seems like a really good card to me, and that's why I added it to this list. Because again, I don't use a lot of four cost cards in my decks, and even the ones that I do use, I feel very neutral about. So I wanted to add this as kind of like an added bonus. It seemed like a fun card to me, and I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's aspirational for you. It's a card that you want to be one of your favorite four drops. I like that. This card is not really played. Nobody's really been able to crack it yet. I think that they're not going to let it kind of languish. I think that they will adjust the ability, tweak it a little bit. I think one of the problems with this card is it's just hard to make work because the cards you want to destroy early in the game don't stay in your destroy pile. Like Deadpool, he leaves, so he's not eligible for that. So like you have to kind of destroy stuff like Bucky and, I don't know. That's the problem is like, what do you really, the ability is powerful. It's just nobody's figured it out yet. Maybe you'll be the first one to really figure out the game breaking deck.
I doubt that. I wasn't even thinking about it from that perspective. So yeah, it's definitely not going to be me.
One day I do believe that Morgan Le Fay will be a relevant meta player. My next card, I'm going to go with Moonstone. I've said before, my love for ongoing. This card is just really fun. It's basically an onslaught for cheap ongoing cards, but it has a little more added utility that you wouldn't think of. It actually gains the abilities of the ongoing cards, so ongoing abilities that let you move, this gets that. Ongoing abilities like, for example, Ant-Man. Put in a lane with Ant-Man, you're both going to get the Ant-Man buff, which is pretty cool. And then I use it in the crazy combo deck I mentioned before to just make things get out of control. With a Mystique Onslaught, Moonstone gets the Mystique Onslaught ability, and then there's crazy exponential doubling going on. So just fun, goofy, my kind of card.
Never seen it. Once again, surprise, surprise. But I do like the name Crazy Combo Deck. Maybe I should start naming my decks things like that because maybe I would actually start to use them a little bit more. But I am going to get into my fifth and final card, which is Stegron. I hope I said that right. I personally use this in my move deck, and typically I find synergy with Craven. If I have Craven in the right lane and I play Stegron in the middle, um, obviously I want to move a certain card that way, but no matter what, it'll give Craven +2 power, which is always really nice. And I find that it being 7 power is really nice, especially with a 4-drop. Just because, again, there's not a lot of 4-drops, at least in my collection level or where I'm at, that are super appealing. So I feel like this is really good, but I only use this in my move deck personally. I don't see a lot of room for it to be used in other decks, but that's personally where I play it. So that's why it's made my list. And it's a pretty cool card too. I just like Stegron as a whole.
Yeah, he's a cool card. He's got some nice surprise value. And I think this card, it wasn't super played until Scream released. And with Scream, it became a pretty powerful way, just another way to mess with your opponent. And it's a fun card. I like it. I think it's a nice inclusion on your list. I think Stegron doesn't get enough love. So
Okay.
we'll give it some. And then my final card, I am going to go with, you got to let me know if you've seen this card around, Trevor, because it's an archetype all to itself. This is Mr. Negative. The only decks Mr. Negative's played in are his own decks. You're just putting a bunch of 0 power cards in your deck, flipping them around. You're trying to play Mr. Negative on 3 if you can, with Ravonna first, or Zabu, or Psylocke, whatever you can do to get them down early, and then draw all your 0 cost cards, play your 0-5 Iron Man, play your 0-3 Mystique on it. It's just kind of gross when it works, and when it doesn't, it falls on its face. But I do enjoy playing a Mr. Negative deck here and there. Crazy combo deck.
I need to make a deck out of this. I actually have this card.
Oh, nice.
Surprisingly, this is the only card on your list that I actually own. And I've always found it very appealing, but I wasn't sure how to build a deck with it. I always knew what its ability was, but now that you've kind of named some names, I do have all those cards that you mentioned. So I might have to give that a shot and just mess around with that deck. I might lose some oh, what do you call it? What I'm 75 and gets you to infinite. What is that called?
Rank?
How
Like
rank?
rank?
Yes, I'm
Yeah,
gonna lose some rank playing this.
that's all
Yeah,
right.
sorry, I couldn't think of a word for it. But I could see me losing some rank. It just seems kind of random. I don't know, but I would like to play a deck like that.
Yeah, we'll build you a cool Mr. Negative deck. It'll be fun. We'll definitely get on that. All right, so let's get to our audience questions section. Before we do that, actually, we want to highlight the comment from the one person that answered our question last week. I don't know if you know this individual. This is Megan Karn,
Uh,
X3H.
doesn't
Uh,
sound
yeah,
familiar.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't I don't I don't know that last name, but maybe read it out loud so I can hear it.
Yeah, sure. She said, my favorite game is Untitled Goose Game, but they're not sure if that's the response we were looking for. Um, First of all, Untitled Goose Game, an awesome game, especially for playing with somebody that you enjoy being around or don't enjoy being around.
So it's really funny because I was going to mention Untitled Goose Game my in episode 2 whenever we were talking about this question, but I didn't feel like it should make the list. But it is an epic game. I love it. I could play it by myself, but I play it with my wife,
My
who was
wife.
definitely not the person who commented. The definitely not the one who commented this. But yeah, we play Untitled Goose Game quite a lot, and it's just a lot of laughs, and it's an awesome game. So that's a W pick for me.
Yeah, I love it. That's a good one. But let's get to this week's question for the audience. Make sure that if you'd like to be featured next week, you answer the question in the comments down below. On average, this is your question proposed from the other week. On average, how much time do you dedicate to Snap per day, per week, per lifetime?
Hmm. Shall I put this into seconds, minutes, hours, days?
Just
What do you think?
ballpark. Just ballpark it. Just go. Let's go hours.
Let's not do that. I'm just kidding. Honestly, on average per day, I'd say I'm getting to Snap every other day,
Mhm.
7 days out of a week, probably like 20 minutes when I'm really grinding on it. So roughly a little bit over an hour, which doesn't sound like a lot, but for a mobile game, or at least I played on mobile, that's quite a lot. I usually don't play mobile games that much. I might dedicate 5, 10 minutes. So doubling up on that, even
Yeah.
quadrupling it from 5 minutes is quite a lot for me. So probably just over an hour, unless something like Grand Arena is going on. And
Sure.
then I'm probably playing it for 30 to 45 minutes every other day on average, so maybe 2 hours.
Yeah, I think ebbs and flows are really healthy with a game like this. You don't want to feel like you're beholden to it, and the game obviously wants you to boot it up every day, so it has levers and knobs for you to do that. But all that to say, I play it entirely too much. It's for sure the only real hobby that I'm usually going into. I do play other video games, and I watch TV and movies and all that. But this game, I mean, just let's put it this way. Looking at my Steam listing, this is only on Steam. I play the game on mobile too, and I've been around since open beta, but it's logging me at 1,887 hours, which is like a lot for one portion of the game that I've played.
I'm sorry, could you just repeat that real quick?
It's not that important.
No, 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 no,
It's
no.
just
Repeat it real quick.
a little shy of 2,000 hours.
Okay, we're gonna round you up to 2,000
Yeah.
there, buddy.
Mm,
So that's 83 days. 83 days of your life you've been playing Snap. Not that that's a bad thing.
yeah.
It's not a bad thing
Uh,
because I played RuneScape growing up, and my time played on that is quite ridiculous because I'm still playing in adulthood. So we're not going to talk about that.
some games are just lifestyle games. I mean, we're hosting a podcast on the game, so clearly it's something that resonates with me a little bit. So I feel no shame. As long as I'm doing my other things, living my life, spending time with my family, working, and it's just something that I do every other waking minute, so it's cool.
Maybe I missed it. Did you give a minute, an hour count per week?
I really don't know. It ebbs and flows. It depends on what's going on that week.
No, 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 no. We need an answer. The people need an answer.
Let's put it at maybe 2 hours a day. If I'm considering laying in bed trying to fall asleep, definitely probably gets up to there. That's where I play most of my Snap.
See, the people needed to know, and I needed to know
Oh,
because
there you go.
wow, 2 hours a day is quite a lot. But hey, if you love it, I nothing wrong with that, buddy.
On average, on my busy times, we'll go with that.
So on average means some days could be 4 hours and some days could be zero.
I'll give that to you, sure. Yeah. All right.
That's
Well,
math. That's math, ladies and gentlemen.
that's also the audience question segment. So let's move on to the wrap up, the outro. Thanks so much for watching this video with us. We hope you enjoyed the podcast. Every week, we're going to try to get you an episode. We'll see what happens. Sometimes we're going to be in the west of the United States or whatever. But we got this one out once I edit it. Please go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I put out at least one deck guide a week, sometimes more. I think I put out 3 this week. I'm going to record another video with a Invisible Woman champion deck in Grand Arena because I'm really enjoying one. And yeah, comment down below. We respond to every comment. Sometimes Trevor responds too. Where can we find you, Trevor, speaking of that?
You can find me in the comments section from now on. I've done a bad job of commenting, but I've been meaning to do it. I've just been busy on vacation and other responsibilities, but I'm going to make more of an effort. So catch me in the comment section because that's probably the only place you're going to find me.
No, it's okay. Social media is toxic, so you don't really want to be anywhere else. Anyway, thanks so much again for watching. This has been Snap Crackle Pod. We'll be back next week for previewing a new season of Marvel Snap Cards. It should be a fun one. For Trevor, I'm Ryan Wood. Later.
I'm Trevor. That's Ryan Wood.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm ready. Die. What's up, YouTube? Ryan Wood back with another podcast, episode 3.
I like the mustache.
Thanks, man.
It's very, dare I say, Pedro Pascal. What's up, YouTube? Welcome to episode 3 of Snap, Crackle, Pop. Nope, let me start over. That's not the name of the show. General Mills is furious.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome to episode 3 of Snap.
You almost said Snap on This, which is my favorite Marvel Snap podcast. You should check it out. It's a good one. We didn't do your non-Snap advice of the week. That's okay.
It's okay. I didn't have anything solidified this time. I was just gonna wing it.
Yeah, like Jeff Winger, Joel McHale's character in Community.
Do you think... Okay, hold on. Do you think Joel McHale is actually a good actor?
I think Joel McHale plays Joel McHale and everything. And he's really good at playing Joel McHale. I don't know if he's a lot of range, but he's really good at being the smarmy, you know, cocky jerk.
Better actor, Joel McHale or Pedro Pascal?
Oh, it's not even close. It's Pedro. Pedro's got range. Wait till you see him in Fantastic Four First Steps at a theater near you.
Wait. Insert when you said tech deck.
Oh.
I wanted to do that, but I didn't want to just like reach for all my tech decks that I conveniently have right here and like make a bunch of noise and go, oh, tech deck, and interrupt you. I can hit some gnarly kick flips.
Oh, we forgot to have you take off at the end of the episode.
I just did.
I know, but that's the episode. Yeah, I knew I forgot something.
You're good at editing.
Yeah. Yeah, my actual non-Snap advice of the week is if you're at all interested in turn-based RPGs to play Expedition 33. It is one of the greatest games of all time.
Secret wife advice. Advice of the week, go.
Trevor's requesting secret wife advice of the week. She seems a little anxious.
Don't forget to flush.
She said don't forget to flush, and that's advice from my daughter.
Do you have any secret advice? Whenever you make recipes that have butter, to use brown butter instead.
Yeah, brown butter's delicious. It's really good with gnocchi.
I think it's gnocchi.
I've heard it both ways.
Hey, we need to get more than 100 views on this one.
We'll see. That's all.
Because if not, Fox is gonna cancel us.
Fox is gonna cancel us.
Fox is notorious for canceling.
We are not on
There.
Fox.
We could be.
No, I'd rather not be.
Okay, we should probably end this.
Yeah, we should. I gotta watch Big Brother.
Oh man.
Yeah, we have to. Secret way.